Hello friends, my name is BK Kollapure. Today we will find out the slope and deflection in the beam by using Macula's method. We are seen in earlier videos, we can find out the slope and deflection by using double integration method. But double integration method is very tedious and very complicated to handle. So continuation of double integration, this Macula has put forward his method known as Macula's method. It is easy, you can handle all the loads at a time and find out slope or deflection at any point in the beam. Now here he has given certain conditions or to be satisfied. First is the cross section should be in last portion. Should be in the last portion. The meaning is, suppose this is the beam, it is carrying loads. If it is carrying loads, this is 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th portion. The cross section should be considered in the last portion and at a distance of x from here. So cross section should be considered at the last portion. Second is constants of integration. Constants of integration should be written in first portion only. First portion only means whatever portion we are writing, C1 constant, C2 constant, whatever we are getting, we should write that constants in the first portion only. And third important condition is integration of x minus a. So this is usually we take x squared by 2 minus ax, and Macula says that the integration should not be like that. The whole thing is to be integrated. X minus a integral will be equal to x minus a whole squared by 2. Likewise, integration of x minus a whole square, this will be equal to x minus a whole cube divided by 3. So the whole term is to be integrated and not separated like this. And the fourth condition is negative and higher values. Negative and higher values of x are to be neglected. So these are some of the rules that are to be followed whenever you go for Macula's method. We'll see this by actually taking up a problem on slope deflection by Macula's method. Double integration is very time consuming and difficult to handle all the values. So let us take a problem here. Let us take a beam here, simply supported at the ends. It is carrying a point load at the 6 kilonewton and there is a UDL acting. So this distance is 3 meters, this distance is 3 meters and this distance is 6 meters. This UDL is taken as 2 kilonewton per meter. Distance, this whole length of the beam, let us take it as 6 meters. This is at a distance of 2 meters. This is distance of 3 meters. So this balance will be 3 meters here. So this is the beam. You are required to find out the deflection. Now here let us call this point as A, B, C and D. So A and D are the supports. So whenever you come across a simply supported beam, you will have to find out the reactions. So here we know we are taking this AB, BC, CD. CD is the last portion and the section what we are taking is in the last portion at a distance x. This is a rule you have to follow at a distance x. Considering section XX in last portion. In last portion CD at a distance x from A. We are taking x from A. Now when we want we take moment about x, we need RA. So let us find out RA. So for finding out RA, let us take moment about D and equate it to 0. So RA into perpendicular distance is 6 meters. It is rotating clockwise, positive. Then 6 into, this is a perpendicular distance, 6 minus 2 will be 4, anti-clockwise. Then coming to this UDL, total UDL is 2 into 3. This UDL will act at the center. So this is 3, 1.5 and 1.5, and the distance from here is 1.5. This is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. This must be equal to 0. So you get the value of reaction RA is equal to 5.5 kilonewton. So this is the first thing you'll have to find out, 5.5 kilonewton reaction. Then we will go with the Maclaurin's method. So as per Maclaurin's method, we consider the section and the end portion. So we know moment at the section is given by EI d2y by dx square. We have seen this. So if I take moment of the forces about this cross section of the left hand side, so RA is 5.5 and the perpendicular distance is x, clockwise positive. Then I will go with the second load, 6 is perpendicular distance will be, I want this distance. So up to here it is x minus 2, x minus 2 anti-clockwise. Then I will come to this UDL. This is a UDL which is acting at the section. So this UDL will be 2 into this distance. So this distance will be x minus 3. So x minus 3 is this distance. So 2 into x minus 3. It will act at the center. So center means it will be x minus 3 divided by 2 minus. Now these lines, they are indicating portions A to B, B to C, and the last portion is C to D. So like this is first portion, second portion and third portion. So if you simplify this, I can write EI d2y by dx square is equal to 5.5x minus 6 into x minus 2. 2 gets cancelled. So we are left with x minus 3 whole square. So this is the equation. Now we will go for integration. So let us integrate. So integration will be EI dy by dx, and dy by dx is nothing but the slope. So this will be 5.5 x square by 2. Now the rule to be followed in Maclaurin's method is the constants of integration should be written in the first portion only. Then integration of this will be minus x into x minus 2 whole square by 2. The whole thing is to be integrated. Then minus integration of x minus 3 square will be x minus 3 cube by 3. So this is once integration. Again integrating, you get EI integration of dy by dx is y. Y is nothing but the deflection. So this will be equal to 5.5 x cube by 6 plus c1x plus the second constant of integration c2. This should be also in the first portion only. Then integration of this will be 3. So minus 3 into x minus 2 raised to 3 by 3 minus x minus 3 raised to 4 divided by 4 is 12. Now if I find out x c1 and c2, you will be getting the slope equation and the deflection equation. Let us go with that. So to find out c1 and c2, we use the boundary conditions. So we will find out x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, means when x is 0 there is no deflection here, so y will be equal to 0. So let us substitute the values in the equations. So if I substitute here, this is 0 is equal to, this is 0, this is 0, so this will be, I told you minus sign or the higher power orders are to be neglected. So you get the value of C2 is equal to 0. If x is 0, y is 0, if you substitute in this deflection equation, you get C2 will be equal to 0. So here, if I substitute the values in the equation, again we lose at x is equal to 6 meters. At x is equal to 6 meters, again y will be equal to 0. No deflection there. Again, if I substitute this in the equation for deflection, so you get the value 0 is equal to 5.5 into 6 cube by 6 plus C1 is to be calculated, C1 into 6, C2 is 0, then this will be 3 into 3, 6 minus 2. So 6 minus 2 is, let us write it, so this will be minus 3 gets cancelled. So here minus 6 minus 2 whole cube minus 6 minus 3 whole raised to 4 divided by 12. So you will have to simplify this. Only unknown here is C1. So if you simplify the value of C1, you get C1 is equal to minus 21.21. So now you know C1 and C2. You can write finally the equations for slope and deflection. So here let us substitute the value EI dy by dx is equal to 5.5 2.25 x square. I have simplified this, plus C1 is minus 21.21 plus C2 is 0, then left out is x minus 2 raised to 3 minus, and here minus x minus 3 raised to 4 divided by 12. So this equation is the slope equation. This equation is known as the slope equation. On same lines, we will write the equation for deflection. I think slope equation, deflection. Okay, let us substitute here. EI into y is equal to 5.5 into 6 raised to 3 divided by 6 plus C1 is known to you, and the value of C1 is minus 21.21 into x into 6, then C2 is 0, coming to x minus 2 minus x minus 2 whole raised to 3, then left out is minus 6 minus 3 raised to 4 divided by, so yeah, we are supposed to write the equation, not simplified. Please keep these terms in terms of x only, not substitute here. We already got the equation here, so please let us check it. X cube will remain as it is, same as we are getting here. So C1 into x minus x minus 2 whole raised to 3 minus x minus 3 whole raised to 4 divided by 12. Please maintain this. This equation we call it as deflection equation. So maintain in terms of, now we will try to substitute the value and find out the slope and deflection. Now in this problem, you are required to find out slope and deflection. Let us see what are the points where we are going to find out the slope and deflection. So first is, we will find out deflection at C at this point. Then second is maximum deflection, where it occurs and how much is the maximum deflection that is taking place. And the third is, we will find out slope at A. So these are the three things we are going to determine in this problem. So deflection at C, maximum deflection, and the rotation at A. Likewise, you can find out rotation at B also. So here we will use the equation for deflection. So first find out deflection at C, that is at x is equal to 3 meters, y will be equal to yc. Y will be equal to yc. So we have got equation for y. So let us substitute the value. EIYC is equal to 5.5 into 3, x value is 3 cube divided by 6 minus 21.21 into 3 minus 3 minus 2 raised to 3 minus 3 minus 3 raised to 4 by 12. So this will become 0. So here if you simplify, you get this value as minus 39.68, minus 39.68, and this unit will be kilonewton meter cube, kilonewton meter cube. So this will convert it in Newton mm. So this will be minus 39.68 into 10 to the power of 12 Newton mm cube. So you will have to remember here 1 kilonewton meter square cube will be equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 12 Newton mm cube. So remember that relation. So here now E, suppose if I take in the problem as 200 kilonewton per mm square, if E is 200 kilonewton per mm square, and if I take I, the moment of inertia of the section as 2 into 10 to the power of 7 mm raised to 4. So these are the data which are given to you in the problem. E is given, I is given. Let us substitute the value. E is 200 kilonewton, so convert it in Newton, into I is 2 into 10 to the power of 7 is equal to minus 39.68 into 10 to the power of 12. So you get YC is equal to, if you simplify, you get minus 9.92 mm. So negative indicates the deflection is downwards. Negative is downwards, positive is upwards. So you got the deflection at C. Second portion is you want to find out the maximum deflection. Now we don't know in which portion the maximum deflection will be taking place. Let us assume that the maximum deflection is taking between B and C towards C. Means when I say like that B and C, I'll have to restrict my portion to AB and BC only in the equation. So you are required to find out deflection equation. So from deflection equation, so we came to know this one. So next, from deflection equation, maximum deflection, Ymax. So let us take maximum deflection will be at slope is 0. Wherever slope is 0, we get at that point maximum deflection in a beam, because the slope changes from positive to negative. So assuming maximum deflection in BC towards C, so we have got here slope equation EI dy by dx. So this is AB portion, this is BC portion. So we will have to take only this portion for the simplification, and at that point the slope will be equal to 0. So these are the rules that are to be followed by you. So here from, if I call it a slope equation, EI dy by dx is equal to 2.25 x square minus 21.21 minus x minus 2 whole raised to 3 AB BC. We'll stop here. This must be equal to 0. This must be equal to 0. So here if I simplify this, you get x square minus 48x plus 132.64 is equal to 0. you get a quadratic equation. You'll have to solve this quadratic equation. So x will be equal to minus minus plus 48 plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2. If you simplify this, you get the value of x is equal to 2.945 meters, and this is the distance from A. So at the distance of 2.945, there will be maximum deflection. Now in the deflection equation, if I substitute this value, I get the maximum deflection in the beam. So let us simplify that. At x is equal to 2.945 meters, let us find out EI. At that point you have got y is y max is equal to 5.5 into 2.945 cube divided by 6 minus 21.21 into the value of x is 2.945. So if you simplify this, you get 200 into 10 to the power of 3 is E. Value of I is 2 into 10 to the power of 7 into y max is equal to, if you simplify this value by substituting 2.945, now see here, I have substituted here x, I have substituted here x. If I substitute x here, I get negative value, and as per Maples method, negative value and higher power values are to be neglected. So that part is neglected here, only we restrict it to this point only. So we get this value is equal to minus 39.894 kilonewton meter cube. So this will be equal to minus 39.894 into 10 to the power of 12 Newton mm cube. So if I simplify here, y max, the value maximum deflection is minus 9.974 mm, minus 9.947, and this deflection will be downwards because it is negative. So like this we have found out deflection at C, we have found out deflection, maximum deflection in the portion. Likewise you can find out deflection at B also by substituting x is equal to 2 meters in the deflection equation. The third part what is asked is the slope. We have got slope equation here. And you have been asked to find out slope at A. So when slope is at A, the value of x will be equal to 0. So when x is equal to 0, dy by dx is equal to theta A. So substituting the value here, EI theta A is equal to so here this is 0, this is 0, neglected, this is neglected, so what is left out is only minus 21.21. That's the constant what is left out there. So this is a kilonewton mm square, meter square. So deflection is kilonewton meter cube, slope is 1 less, it will be kilonewton meter square. So this will be minus 21.21 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton mm square, 10 to the power of 9 Newton. So 1 kilonewton meter square will be equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton mm square. Remember that, it is a hint for you. So if you simplify this, you know the value of E is 200 into 10 to the power of 3, I is 2 into 10 to the power of 7 into theta A is equal to minus 21.21 into 10 to the power of 9. So only and only it is theta A. So the value of theta A is minus 5.3 into 10 to the power of minus 3, and this we get in radians. So you convert this radians in degrees. So this will be minus 0.3038 degree. Now this negative indicates the rotation is clockwise. Anti-clockwise we take it as positive, we are getting negative, the rotation is clockwise. So this is the method you will have to follow. First is the section should be in the last portion and the constants of integration should be written for the first portion only, C1 and C2, and integration of x minus 2 or x minus a will be x minus a square by 2. So these 3 points you will have to remember, and you remember this relation also, that will be helpful for you to simplify the problem. Subscribe the channel for more videos, press the bell icon for notification, comment for questions in the comment section. Thank you.